The movie is set in a dystopian nation called Panem, made up of the wealthy capital and 12 districts. Years ago, the 13th district rebelled against the capital and was destroyed as punishment. To remind the remaining districts of the capital's power, the rulers created the annual games, a brutal event where each district must send 2 tributes to fight to the death on live television. The surviving candidate, also known as tribute, is declared the winner of the games. In the past, our protagonist, Katniss Everdeen, participated in the 74th version of the games, along with her teammate, Peeta Mellark. She was mentored by Haymitch, who is an ex-champion, Effie, and by the costume designer Cinna. Her motivation of winning comes from reuniting with her mother, little sister, and with her boyfriend Gale. During the games, she had to kill other participants and also lost her friend Rue from District 11, with whom she had a great bond. Although, as per the rules, only one tribute can remain alive, Katniss decided to consume poison berries along with her teammate Peeta, as neither of them could bring themselves to finish the other. This forced the capital to change the rules and allow both of them to survive, and at the same time, declared the duo as winners. Back at present, after winning the 74th annual games, Katniss and Peeta return home to District 12. Katniss still loves Gale, who now works in the mines, but she is still traumatized by the incidents during the games, where she had to kill multiple participants and also lost her friend Rue. Katniss tries to convince Gale that her love for Peeta was an act, but he is not convinced as their act seemed too real to be fake. She says that she did what she had to do to survive, and here we learn that Katniss lives in the Victor's village with Peeta and Haymitch. President Snow visits Katniss and explains that her action in the games, to consume the poison berries along with Peeta, have inspired rebellions across the districts. He orders her to use the upcoming victory tour to convince everyone that her actions were out of genuine love for Peeta and not defiance against the capital. Snow threatens the destruction of District 12, with thousands of people dead, if Katniss does not comply. Snow also reveals that he knows about Katniss's relationship with Gale, hinting at the fact that he can harm Gale whenever he pleases, and this forces her to accept his offer. Next day, Effie is sent to take charge of preparing Katniss and Peeta for their victory tour, and Caesar Flickerman hosts the victory tour live on TV and brings their love story to the masses. They put up a good act and pretend to be a happy couple, and also thank the capital for allowing them to stay in the Victor's village. During the ride, Peeta tries to know more about Katniss, but she acts reserved, unwilling to form a deep bond with him. But all of a sudden, she sees a mockingjay bird drawn on the walls of the tunnels, which is a symbol of revolt. They soon reach District 11 to give their victory speech, and hence Effie hands them the script which they are expected to adhere to. During the tour, they will visit all 12 districts in 12 days and confess their love for each other and read out the speech given to them by the capital. But while giving the speech at District 11, Peeta decides to speak his heart and deviates from the note. He decides to donate a month of his salary every year to the families of the fallen tributes, and this kind gesture earns him applause from the people of the district. Next, Katniss delivers her speech and expresses her gratitude for the help that Rue had provided during the games. She adds that Rue used to whistle like a mockingjay, and every time she hears that bird sing, she is reminded of Rue. This wins everyone's hearts, and they greet Katniss with her trademark mockingjay salute and tune, as a show of defiance against the capital. Acting swiftly, the guards of the capital eliminate protesters who participate in the salute. This shocks Katniss, who decides to stick to the script at all remaining districts, as she doesn't want any more deaths on her hands. But while adhering to the script and giving their speech in the other districts, the crowd demands to hear what she really thinks and refuse to believe in her narrated speech. Snow is disappointed after seeing this, and is even more alarmed when he finds that his own granddaughter adores Katniss and mimics her hairstyle. Haymitch knows that Snow is not buying the tour, and they need to convince Snow that their love is real. As a remedy, Katniss suggests a public engagement between herself and Peeta, which is carried out and congratulated by Snow at his mansion in the capital. Peeta and Katniss see how the capital lives in opulence and excess, while people starve in the districts. Their engagement is witnessed by Gale while working in coal mines, and his sadness is clearly palpable. Here, we are introduced to Plutarch Havensby, the new head game maker. He invites her to a dance, and here we get to learn that he had volunteered to take the job of the head game maker, and he appears to be calm and composed, almost like a man with a heart of stone. President announces the engagement of Katniss and Peeta and congratulates them, ordering some fireworks. But as soon as she looks back at him, he nods his head in disapproval, hinting at the fact that he is not convinced by her speech in the districts. Snow makes up his mind to remove Katniss as she has become a beacon of hope for the people, and he fears an upcoming revolt. But Plutarch advises him to make the districts believe that Katniss works solely for the capital and cares less for them. In that way, the ray of hope will be extinguished without bloodshed. Returning home, Katniss warns her boyfriend Gale of Snow's threat to kill both their families. She knows that Snow is not convinced with the tour and will crack down on Gale and herself and hence proposes to run away with him. But he refuses, citing the fact that the other people in their district will need his help and he is worried about the people who stay behind. Before she can argue, the Capitol guards arrive and Gale is adamant that the people want to fight the Capitol. Soon, the guards crack down on District 12, and while trying to save a helpless woman from being beaten up, Gale attacks new head guard Romulus Thread. As punishment, he is publicly whipped, and Thread shows no mercy to the young man. Katniss tries to save Gale, and she too is roughed up by Thread. Haymitch intervenes and saves Katniss by explaining to him that he will have to answer to Snow if Katniss does not attend her own wedding due to his actions. Peeta also intervenes, and seeing this, he decides to let her go. Seeing the rebellious nature of Haymitch, Peeta, and Katniss, Snow decides to put an end to the defiance. Plutarch advises Snow to eliminate all victors by conducting the games, and hence Snow announces a special Hunger Games, the third quarter quell, where all tributes will be selected from previous victors in each district. He does this because he knows that the districts see all previous victors, including Katniss, as rays of hope in their uprising against the Capitol. The districts are already in a state of riot after the victory tour, and Snow needs a way to bring things back under control. Hearing this, Katniss and Peeta break down and Haymitch erupts in anger, but they have no choice but to accept the Capitol's decision. After regaining her composure, Katniss immediately devotes herself to ensuring that Peeta survives, recruiting Haymitch's help to do so. At the reaping, Effie draws Katniss and Haymitch's names, but Peeta immediately volunteers to take Haymitch's place. Haymitch refuses to accept this, but Peeta insists, and this leaves him no choice but to back down. They are taken to the Capitol where they are allotted luxurious rooms and all the facilities that the people from the districts can only dream of. As they prepare, Haymitch reveals that all the tributes are angry at being returned to the games and advises a reluctant Katniss to make allies. Tributes include Cashmere and Gloss from District 1, Brutus and Enobaria from District 2. Here we are told that Enobaria had her teeth filed so it is easier for her to rip human flesh, and this shows her commitment to victory. Wyrus and BT from District 3 are real tech-savvy and have won previous games by electrocuting their rivals. Finnick Odair from District 4, youngest winner of the games at 14 years of age, is paired with Mags, who mentored and raised him. Johanna Mason is a fireball from District 7, who tries to break up Katniss and Peeta by hitting on him, but Peeta does not give her any attention. President Snow welcomes them to the Capitol, and we see the beautiful dress designed by Cinna, blazing in flames, showcasing the excellent use of heat-resistant materials. Cinna is now a fashion superstar due to the flaming dress worn by Katniss, and has been roped as the fashion consultant for the tour. Back in their practice rooms, we see all the tributes practicing, and Katniss builds a good rapport with Wyrus, BT, and Mags. Here, she showcases her exceptional skills of archery, and everyone is amazed after seeing what she is capable of. In the pre-games interviews, the victors all want the games to be stopped, and all of them express their rage and frustration on live TV. We also see Katniss wearing her wedding dress, as ordered by President Snow, but her stylist Cinna rigs it to transform into a representation of a Mockingjay. Peeta announces that they are expecting a baby, which causes outrage, and the citizens of the Capitol begin shouting for the games to be stopped. But Snow still makes the games go ahead. Haymitch and Effie bid farewell to Katniss and Peeta, and he requests her to keep in mind who the real enemy is, indirectly referring to the Capitol. Just before the game starts, Cinna visits Katniss to wish her the best of luck, and he accompanies her to her flight, in which the guards install a tracker in her arm. Just as she enters the pod, Cinna is severely beaten by the guards because of the Mockingjay dress, and a helpless Katniss is sent into the arena. In the games, Katniss allies with Finnick and the elderly Mags from District 4. Another group called the Career Pack, including Cashmere, Gloss, Brutus, and Enobaria, occupies the main supply base at the center of the arena, and Katniss's group is forced to take shelter in the surrounding forest. To get a better view of their position, Katniss climbs up a tall tree, and upon shooting an arrow at the sky, realizes that the entire forest is covered by a dome of force field which is used to spy on them. While walking inside the jungle, the arena's force field shocks Peeta, stopping his heartbeat, until Finnick revives him. Katniss also notices quite a few lightning strikes at a particular tree, and this makes her curious. While taking turns to sleep, Katniss notices dense fog approaching their location, and after touching it, realizes that it is poisonous. The group flees the poisonous fog, and Mag sacrifices herself so as to avoid slowing them down. Just as they were about to get killed by the fog, a force field appears, deflecting the fog elsewhere. The trio soon find water and to their relief, discover that the blisters caused by the fog gets healed after applying water. Just when they thought that the danger has passed, vicious mandrills attack them. Katniss and Finnick fight hard, but one mandrill manages to attack Peeta, who is saved by the unexpected sacrifice of a tribute from District 6. The group escapes to a beach and meets District 3's Wiress and BT and District 7's Johanna Mason. Johanna tells about how her group was surprised by a rain of blood, causing them to become blinded, and one tribute getting killed by an electrical force field. Just then, the group witnesses a large flooding, killing an unknown tribute in one section on the other side of the jungle, again showcasing the brutality of the game. Wiress discovers that the arena is designed like a clock with regular hazards each hour and relays this information to the rest, but while the group is deciding on their next move, she is killed by Gloss, who sneaks up from under the water. A battle begins and Katniss manages to kill Gloss, and Johanna kills Kashmir. The other tributes from the career pack attack, but Plutarch commands his men to make the island spin so as to increase the difficulty of the groups. They try to cling to the island, but Katniss fails to maintain grip and the others rush to her rescue. Upon reaching shore, BT suggests using one of the hazards, a tree that is struck by lightning every 12 hours, and a coil of metal wire to electrocute the career group. The plan was to lure the career group near the beach with wet sand and connect the wire with the tree and the sand. In this way, the rivals will be eliminated without having to draw weapons. The group separates to prepare the trap, but once alone, Johanna appears to attack Katniss, but in reality, cuts the tracker installed by the Capitol from Katniss' arm. Katniss returns to the tree and finds an unconscious BT with the wire from the tree attached to a makeshift spear. Unable to find Peeta, Katniss almost attacks Finnick, but Finnick reminds her to consider who the real enemy is, as Haymitch had advised her prior to the games. To our shock, upon seeing the dark clouds accumulating over her, Katniss binds the remaining wire to an arrow and shoots it into the arena force field as the lightning hits, causing a power failure that takes down the dome's force field as well as the Capitol's surveillance. President Snow enters the game room demanding answers, only to find that the game is off the air and Plutarch is gone. Katniss is saved by an aircraft which lifts her from the jungle, and soon, she loses consciousness. Post some time, she awakens to find BT unconscious, and Haymitch, Finnick, and Plutarch, the head game maker, who is revealed to be a rebel against Snow. He tells her they are bound for District 13, headquarters of the new rebellion, and that half the tributes were aware of the plan to escape with Katniss, as a symbol for the growing rebellion. They were unable to rescue Peeta and Johanna, who were captured by the Capitol. Hearing that Peeta has been captured, a distraught Katniss attacks Haymitch, but is sedated by Plutarch. She later awakens to find Gale by her side, who reassures that her family is safe, but tells her that District 12 was destroyed by the Capitals as an act to subdue the rebellion. This news breaks her, but being a resilient fighter, she regains her composure, and we can clearly see the fire of revenge in her eyes. This is how the movie ends. Thank you for watching. If you like this recap, please subscribe to the channel and let us know which character you liked best and why.